Do you like the idea of the 49ers rotating quarterbacks?
When I was a kid on Saturday Night Live, there was a character played by Dana Carvey called the Grumpy Old Man. And he would say, I don't like things now compared to the way they used to be, right? And here I am, the grumpy old man, because I recognize, like, I was also a kid when Bill Walsh and the West Coast offense was taking over, and Bill Parcells is like, he's got to prove that works. What I do works. And I was a Giants fan and a Parcells fan, but guess what? As great as that was, Niners did even a little better. Niners were a little better. It did work. So I'm not saying it can't work. You can innovate and think, but this ain't the way it's always been done. And I think you take a risk by innovating, not if you're in a position where you don't have the horses, right? You got to do something. You got to have an asymmetrical kind of strategy. Like if you play chess and you're the black pieces, which always go second, go figure, right? If you just do the theoretically strongest move every time, you're always a step behind the white pieces who start first. So you got to do something asymmetrical. You got to do something to throw off the balance. So I get innovating like that if you need to do something. But I look at San Francisco's roster, and I'm thinking, this is a Super Bowl roster. So, like, be careful what you do when you have, if you didn't have a quarterback who I believe in, Jimmy G, but I do. When you have a quarterback who, I will say it again because no one's listening, he wins 3 out of every 4 games, regular season and playoffs, for a team. Well, that's because, Shanahan. Really? Because when Shanahan doesn't have Jimmy G, he loses 3 out of every 4 games. Same team, same personnel. The quarterback changes, and you go from elite to terrible. And there's a big sample size here. So do I think they can win a Super Bowl with Jimmy G? Yeah. You know why? I saw it come one play away from happening. I do. Now is not the time I would mess around with rotating quarterbacks on a regular basis in the regular season.
Well, Max, I give you my take. And Charlie, to answer your question, I don't like it. I love it. Right? Because it's an advantage to the 49ers offense. Now, what does it forces defensive coordinators to do? It forces defensive coordinators, you have to stay up that much more at night to try to prepare not only for Jimmy G, but for Trey Lance and what he can do in the run game, right? What else does it do? It forces defenders on teams to have to study more information. And I'll tell you what I love from Kyle Shanahan, right? Kyle Shanahan had this wrinkle in his back pocket the entire time, even before he traded up to go get Trey Lance. And what did he do? He waited to the 3rd preseason game to throw that little wrinkle out there and throw that little bait for the rest of the NFL to see, because he wants to put everything on display and show the NFL that this is what you're going to have to prepare for. But I like the wrinkle when they drafted Trey Lance. The thought of him being involved in the run game, I thought made him to choose him over
Mac Jones.
No,
at the time.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, Jimmy G, okay.
Right, when they drafted him, I liked it Trey Lance to be the starting quarterback over Jimmy Garoppolo because he has that element to his game, right? But now if you're not going to start him, you get him those reps, right? So he's not just sitting over there with a clipboard just collecting dust. You get him those reps. You get him to be a little bit more confident about himself, because there's no question.
At what point in the game, though?
Week 6.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't?
Yeah, don't have him just holding the clipboard like Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes did. That never worked.
The simple fact that you don't want Trey Lance over there just sitting now, just collecting dust. If he has those intangibles to make this offense better and make this offense thrive, you put him out there in the football field in situations, now you can control the situation a little bit until you think he is ready. I already think he's ready because I think his highs are a little bit more better than Jimmy Garoppolo, but I love the fact that they're doing this with both their quarterbacks. Now defenses have to prepare for 2 guys, Jimmy G and Trey Lance, and if they can't do it, then they're going to continue to do it out there on the football field.
All right, before I get to this question, Max, stop talking about the Jimmy Garoppolo wins with Kyle Shanahan and Kyle doesn't win with anybody else. The other 2 quarterbacks that he's had to play with are guys trying to survive in the NFL right now. They're trying to, keep jobs. It wasn't like he went from Jimmy Garoppolo into a decent backup option. Both those guys, C.J. Beathard and Nick Mullins just got cut. So the fall off
after years
is more,
in the league. But he's been in the league for years already.
Who? 3 or 4 years. There's guys are fighting for jobs in the NFL, but you're trying to make it sound like he went from Jimmy Garoppolo to a solid backup. So stop using that argument.
He went
it's
to
not good.
You have to compare what the quarterback does to the backup. And the reason I picked the backups, Dan, is because everyone credits Shanahan. If he's such a genius and it has nothing to do with Jimmy G, he should at least be able to survive with a backup. They couldn't survive. They could never win with a backup.
They had injuries last year. They had a ton of injuries, Max.
Players have proven to be backup quarterbacks. That's my point. Neither of those guys have proven to be backup quarterbacks. They're fighting just to survive.
For a while.
He just got cut.
Yes, eventually everyone gets cut, especially backup quarterbacks, Dan.
All right, that's not the question. It's a year move. Stop using that argument. Listen, it only becomes an issue if one of the players starts to perform poorly. Okay? If both of these guys are going in and out of the games and they're playing well, that's fine. But if Jimmy Garoppolo is the starter and he's playing good and then they're bringing in Trey Lance and the offense sputters, then it starts to become an issue in the locker room. Or Jimmy's the starter and he's not playing well and then Trey Lance comes in and the offense takes off, then it starts to become an issue in the locker room. But I don't think this is an issue if both of them are playing well. Now, to be a rare offense in the NFL right now, you need to be able to do two of two things. One, you got to be able to do whatever you want in the pass game. Throw the ball all around the yard. Well, Jimmy Garoppolo does a good job of that. And then number two, you really want to be able to play 11 on 11 in the run game, utilizing the quarterback run. And that's where Trey Lance is going to come in. And so I truly believe that the organization and Kyle wanted Trey Lance to go take this starting job in preseason, similar to what it seems that Mac Jones has done in New England. He just didn't do it. And Harry, to your point of forcing these defensive coordinators to try to think about this, this team's first 5 games, their first 2 games against Detroit and Philadelphia, both new staffs. So now imagine both of these coaching staffs having to get ready to coach their first game ever as head coaching and coaching staffs in the NFL. By the way, prepare for 2 different quarterbacks and 2 different offenses. Well, San Francisco starts 2-0. Then Green Bay, we're going to be fighting them for a playoff spot and likely playoff seeding. And then 2 division games, Seattle and Arizona. You're forcing these really meaningful games by gaining an advantage and likely going to be able to steal either a win or 2 in those first 5 games. Then week 6 comes. Now you've gotten Trey Lance 60, 70 snaps. Maybe he's a little bit more comfortable. You stole a win or 2, and here comes your bye week.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.